it's your IVF bestie, and today I'm going to talk about things I wish I would have asked for before pursuing IVF. There's also some questions in there that I wish I had asked right when I got the results. So it's kind of mixed a little bit, but first thing I wish I would have asked for is a sperm fragmentation panel on my husband's sperm, because it's kind of messed up that they just look at like kind of surface level. They don't actually get in there and do a like more aggressive DNA fragmentation search. That's not their protocol. That's not the standard. And I just really think it should be. It's really unfortunate that we don't do such a like crazy invasive research on patients before we start IVF. And I don't know why that is. I don't know. I have very negative thoughts about why they're not doing full panels like that. Because I don't think it's a waste of money. It doesn't cost the doctor anything. If anything, it would cost us money. And I'd rather pay that up front for testing than pay with it in a miscarriage later or $10,000 in IVF. So I think that's kind of the answer. I don't know. I'm very negative at this point in time with the IVF journey. Yeah, so sperm fragmentation on top of motility and quality, all that stuff. The next thing I would ask, or I wish I would have asked, was, can I have an RPL panel? So that's repeated pregnancy loss. That panel is, I think, about between 10 and 15 different blood work panels that will tell you if you are just predisposed to having miscarriages. Unfortunately, they do not test you until you have already had multiple miscarriages, which just kind of blows my mind that we would wait to even consider it, and we would wait to, I don't know, just it as someone who had a miscarriage, it's just really hard to believe that that's the standard. It's like, we're not even going to test for it before, I don't know. This is me getting upset. It blows my mind. I don't want to talk anymore about that. So basically, the repeated pregnancy loss will tell you if you're predisposed, like we said, but it's also going to see about blood clots and, just blood issues, autoimmune disorders, I believe is what it is. So yeah, they test for things like cardiolipin, IgM, IgA, IgG, lupus, and things like that. Thyroid issues as well. So I wish I would have had that done before we did the embryo transfer, because unfortunately we did have a miscarriage, and I truly believe it is because my cardiolipin was elevated. We can't say for sure. The doctor won't say for sure because there's no way to know, but I'm pretty sure that's why. At least in my head, that's what I'm going to say. Because it was a perfect little embryo. Anyway, before I get sad, I also really, really wish when we got our results from our embryos, you can ask for them to be retested. Whether or not they do it is completely up in the air, but had I asked earlier in the IVF journey, we could have had 2 embryos retested and the PGTM would have been paid for. So in previous videos, I talked a little bit about PGTM, and basically PGTM is an additional test for cystic fibrosis. It might be for other things, but I'm just tracking cystic fibrosis. So when you pay for that, it's good for 9 months and 9 months only. So had I asked sooner, it would have been covered. But unfortunately, when I asked, my 9 months was up, and to test 2 embryos that had already been aneuploid, it would cost me another $3,000 just to test the 2. And so that has not happened yet. They have not been retested. Those embryos are still, you know, frozen, and we can do that in the future, but it just really stinks because my doctor didn't look at them and say, you know, oh, let's retest them. This result's really weird. Like, I think this could be wrong. It was me asking for it months after. So it just, I don't know. I really hate it because it just feels like I'm the only one advocating for myself. And yeah, I'm a little upset about that. Like, I just wish a doctor would have, you know. Anyway, anywho, another thing I wish I asked was for a hysteroscopy. So basically, the standard is an SIS, and that is an ultrasound, a saline sonogram, something or other. It's just seeing an image, basically like how you would see your baby in the womb. And a hysteroscopy is actually an actual camera going into your uterus and seeing if there's polyps that were missed or scar tissue, which I don't believe scar tissue can be picked up on the saline sonogram. So I am shooting for that and really hoping we can go and look and just check it off the list of things that we need to check. So yeah, I think there's a few more things that I wished I'd asked, but as of right now, those are definitely the main ones. No, I have another one. So one thing that I wish I had asked for and that you should totally ask for is, or just do research, see if there are any clinical trials. I will make another video about it, but basically that's one way that I could have saved thousands of dollars doing a clinical trial instead of just jumping in and paying for it. I think it would be a little bit more timely and maybe a little more inconvenient, but not so inconvenient that it wouldn't be worth, $11,000. So those are some things that I definitely wish I would have asked. And as I think of more things, I will add them. But for now, let me know things that you wish you had asked in the comments below. I'm really interested to see what you guys think. And it definitely is dependent on what your journey is. And I think there's more things that we could ask for. For example, I just thought of another one. Oh my God. One thing I definitely wish I would have asked for was if we needed, during the egg retrieval process, if it was a good idea to just have a sample on hand. My husband, unfortunately, we don't produce a lot of good quality sperm. And so what that means is whatever we get day of egg retrieval is what we're stuck with. So what you can do is you can, a week before, have your husband go give a sample and they will wash it, quality check it, and put it in the freeze. And if for whatever reason, the day of, it's not quite the quality they're looking for, they can go get your husband's sample from the week before. And I didn't know that. I actually came up with the idea and the doctor was like, oh, that's a really good idea. I don't know why we didn't recommend that. You're a doctor. I don't even have my bachelor's. Why am I coming up with things? Like, all right, let me know anything that you wish you would have asked before starting IVF in the comments below, and have a good day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.